Well, once again, here we are, early September, basically a summer day, and it's a midweek, so we pretty much have the trails to ourselves. So let's go enjoy that. You know, the club put out a little reminder that on busy trails, on busy days, that you're gonna have all kinds of traffic on the trails, different levels of riders, different speeds, which it doesn't really matter, because if you're coming the other direction and you're meeting somebody going pretty fast, a good rider, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be hard to avoid on some of these inclined corners. So in terms of you know, riding a little faster on the busier trails or the main feeder trails, I think you really got to pick your days, you know. Anyway, again, the 25 TX, I got about 12 hours on it now, 10 or 12 hours, and I will say that probably not since my 2020 Husqvarna have I gelled so quickly with the bike, and this one is even more naturally comfortable than that. Why? Well, it's the forks, for sure. For off-road riding, these front forks are absolutely incredible. Right out of the box, other than dealing with some clickers, I have not really dealt with anything, or done anything, I mean. I think the shock is acceptable, but as opposed to previous iterations where we're always chasing a better fork, you know. I think in this case, I think the fork's amazing, but the shock now seems to be a bit of a weaker part. So I'm curious to see in the fullness of time whether there's anything we can do to improve, to make the shock as awesome as the fork. Yeah. Oh, that big spider's probably on me now. Huh. This time of the year, we get the spiders. The guy in the front has to clear the path so he eat a few. All right. It's gonna be a very hot day today. Like I said earlier, it's about 23, 24, it's about 75 Fahrenheit right now, and that's going to climb significantly over the next few hours. So I'm out relatively early, not as early as I wanted to be. Oh, shit. Last few rides out, I think all we did is clear a windfall because we had a bit of a storm through here. Dropped a fair amount of rain, which was nice actually for late summer. Top line there, but that's beautiful. Nice. That was the kind of the main entry trail, but again, that's a trail definitely not gonna rip on when it's a busy day, because there are people going both directions there, and because there's a feeder trail, you get all kinds of levels of riders. Like I said, not that that matters. In terms of coming the opposite way, it's actually worse if you're meeting somebody who's a advanced rider. Closing speed is so much faster. Anyway, the one other thing I'm going to address is is the frame. It's hard to differentiate the new frame. It's a 25 frame with the cutouts that I saw on the 24.5 factory bikes for the MXs. But I'm going to tell you, okay, that I do think it's better. There are certain situations where it is that extra flex in the chassis, which I didn't think I'd ever be able to feel, but I think it's real. It's subtle, yes. I think if you're riding slower terrain, like actual hard enduro, or if you're more of a lower intermediate beginner rider, then I don't think you'll notice it. But if you're riding kind of faster, flowier stuff, okay, where you're really, whoa, jeez, you're really on that, I don't say razor's edge, but you know what I mean. Your timing makes a difference as you come into corners, and setting up the corners, the braking. It's really, we're talking about microseconds, right? Or if you're a really advanced rider, like a professional rider, probably hundreds of seconds, it makes a difference. So I think it does make a difference. It settles. I think it allows the suspension to work better. And when that happens, everything becomes a little bit more predictable. And just like the suspension is more predictable, I think, than the Air Force were, over a wider variety of speeds and terrain. And that actually makes it easier to ride, quite honestly. Okay, we're feeling good. We're going to keep going. This is the time of the year that a lot of these trails are really kind of grown in a bit. There's a lot of foliage on the sides of the trails that makes the sight lines a little more difficult to pick out. So if you get a reasonably dry day in the shoulder months, winter months even, you can actually ride these trails a lot faster, safer, faster, because you just see further ahead. Whoa. So now, interesting, my rear tire is worn out. I've got like basically sections where there's 3 lugs in a row missing, both on the corners and the middle. So on a dry day like today, again, we're not doing hard enduro, we're doing kind of flowy, normal enduro. I'm really not going to notice it. But what I will notice, in terms of traction, but what I will notice is cornering sometimes, like really on the edge type cornering, where you get into a section where there's 3 knobs missing in. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to give way necessarily, not in the wet it would, but not in these conditions, but it's going to drift a little sideways, be a little unsettling that you'll have to compensate for. So I've noticed that a little bit, but it's fine, because that's what kind of happens in the wet anyway. So even though it's dry and the conditions are literally as tacky as it's really good, it's going to feel almost like it's a little wet. That's the best I can simulate, or think about how it's going to feel. So that's fine. Just ride with that in mind. And front tire's good. We've got a few more rides left in it. Then I'll put my X31 on trial. This is the M59, which is tried and true. I don't think there's very few people that would argue that it's not the gold standard upon which all tires are held to. Often you'll have somebody who's riding a different tire, and the conversation invariably goes to, Well, how does it compare to the M59? I will say every time I've tried a different tire, front tire I'm talking about now, I always do that, and I always feel that it's lacking in some small way. Even the good ones, lacking in some small way compared to the M59. So really, I've just been, why bother? Just run the M59. However, having said that, and again, I'm not into the niche tires like the wide, fatty front tires. A lot of guys love them, and I get in terms of bump compliance and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of that accurate kind of carving through flowy trails, they're just too slow in my mind. Obviously, there's people that are way better riders than me that make them work, and that's fine. But for me, no. Now, that's why I'm kind of curious about the X31, 30, yeah, because it pointed out to me that it has literally the same. Okay, this is often a place where we stop and shoot the breeze and gather our lungs, but I'm just going to carry on because right for myself today. As they pointed out to me that it has the same, almost identical lug pattern. Very similar construction. The question then is, does it actually act the same? And the advantage is if the M59 has a fault, it's that its side knobs tend to break pretty early in its life. This used to be one of the flowiest trails on the mountain, but it sees a lot of volume and it has so many acceleration and brake bumps now that it's really hard to just flow through it with your brain off like you used to. Anyway, we'll see. Might remind me a little bit of another copycat tire. This time the rear taught me a bit of a lesson. And that was the TX8 RC, which is quickly becoming a standard for more technical riding, right? That's a beautiful tire. It obviously, the gummy hybrid tire has an amazing amount of grip, and it's a really popular hard enduro tire. But it's got actually a really nice handling to it too. So if you in your fast sections, and let's face it, guys that are racing those races, they tend to, it's not a trials course, so there are fast sections and you're racing, so you got to be able to be predictable and be able to actually trust your tire at those speeds. I think the JX8 definitely does all that. Now, the accepted downfall with that is that it's not going to have a long life. Longer than I think most people think, unless you're a pro, right? Really at the top end of the time scales here, or your money, lifestyle, or your livelihood depends on it, right? All right, that was a quick pull from basically the staging area. And what I'm going to do is just split the clip here. It is, whoa, it is already now smoking hot. Wow. All right.